Good morning, my good friends. This is going to be, first of all, before I even start, I want to apologize to everybody. And I did already. I made a public apology on Facebook that I went off the deep edge. I did. And I blocked a ton of people, I really, I just couldn't hold on to my feelings anymore. So let's start from there. And then I'm going to talk to you about why this has happened. Now, this goes back 8 or 9 years. I discovered mud fossils. And what does that have to do with blastulas and the cleavage and the embryonic development? Well, I had to study all that because the rocks that I found were all body parts. And you say, well, how can you prove that? Well, let me show you. As a zygote, that's what happens when eggs and cells get together, and then it starts to grow, and then you get the blastula, which is a ball of cells, and then it inverts, and they call it gastrulation, and that creates your abdominal cavity. Right here, that's your abdominal cavity, and then you have a seam right there, and that splits open when things get soaked in wet salt water floods, and then they dry out and they become stone, and this happens. Okay, this is an ancient Tracian womb cave, which it is literally a giant's womb. And that right there is that seam. That is the abdominal seam. That is unquestionably a vagina, and there are many of them. It appears that all the women had them. They're literally everywhere. I mean, I found pictures of them everywhere. You see it? There's the seam. They all have the same thing. There's no question what they are. I'll show you another one. And that, my friends, is a vagina. That is the vaginal seam that we saw in the other one. This is the way the vagina tissue develops. And that is one of the biggest, deepest caves in the world. Now, there's another one. That is the tissue. That is the vagina. That is the abdominal seam. They just don't form like that for no reason. And the giants, I have DNA certified giants. They're enormous, so it's not something that can be questioned. Now, I'm going to try to make you understand why I got so upset with flat earthers. Let me calm down a second, and then we'll go through it. Okay. I discovered mud fossils 8 or 9 years ago, and I was totally rejected by all of the institutions, the learning institutions, Yale, absolutely, Harvard, every one of them. Very, very poor form, absolutely terrible. Now, so I decided, well, I'll go online and I will post all this stuff online, and so I did. I started out with YouTube, and I had a site. I have to abandon that one, but I did have one, and all of a sudden, boom, a whole ton of people came. Oh, this is fabulous, and I'm thinking, geez, this is going to take off. Well, a couple of weeks later, after I started trying to help them all, they started just nothing more than saying, this finally proves a flat earth, and this guy's a flat earther, and finally we have somebody in the flat earth community that can prove things with giants. And I said, whoa, 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 that is not there is no flat earth here. The earth I can see from the space station. It's round. I mean, what's the story? And absolute venom from these people. They attack me, they try to destroy me, they try to take mud fossils for themselves. And there's an English guy, a wise up guy, absolute vile human being. Vile. And I helped him. I tried to help him. And I helped them all. And then they just attacked the hell out of me. So I finally decided I'm not going to take this anymore. I allowed it for a while, and then I had to abandon that channel, and then I had other sites on YouTube, on Facebook. I had to get away from those because I couldn't say a word. Now, this is a lung. That's a lung. And that lung came through space. Now, they attacked me because I said it came through space. There's no space. Now, see, I'm going to get upset now. Let me just calm down. That is an iron meteorite. All right, and they agree it's an iron meteorite. Nobody's questioning that. And why is it an iron meteorite? And why does it look like this? Well, it looks like that because it came through the heat of entry into our space, coming from space, which is out there, and space does exist. And these are body parts in space. And I have one right here now with blood in it, and I will show you my own. Now, this came through and it smelted. What happens to blood, which is it's a ton of iron, let's put it that way. Blood is iron. That's where iron comes from. It comes in blood. Now, that blood boils off. All the organics, they go away. And you leave all these little pockets. I have a lung over here. Hold on. So here it is right here. Now, this is a little different shape, but it is basically the same. It's a lung. Now, this one here is a mudfossil lung. It's found on Earth. It's not from space, but you could still see there's some red in here. This has been leached out in some kind of probably acidic, right? No, but it's a lung. And that is a lung too. And you can see the little red spots in there. It's the same stuff as this, the red spots in here. That's a lung. Now, I said I have an iron meteorite. Not an iron meteorite. I have a meteorite of my own, and it's right here. Right? Now, that's a lung. This is a fingertip. That's a fingertip. And this fingertip came through space. Here's the deal. At night, we're not flooded with electrons from the sun. The sun floods the ionosphere with a ton of extra electrons, just like pouring a bucket of nails in the atmosphere. And as things come through it, they just smash into it and they burn up. Now, at night, if something comes through the atmosphere at night, the bucket of nails is not in there. And it might hit a lot of other nails that are just sort of floating around, but it's not being flooded with all the extra electrons that come from the sun during the day. So this comes through, and it boils off, and it burns off, and it boils off every bit of the organics that it can. You see that little strappy looking thing right there? It's all, fibrous looking. That was a strap that ran down to this tendon ball. That right there, my friend, is a tendon ball, which is a tendon enthesis, they call it. And that ball implanted in right here, and that strap ran right up over there, through that strap and up, and that's the ones that are right here. Those are the ones that are in your wrist too, or your fingers, I'm sorry. But this is a fingertip. Now, right here is where the apical tuft would be. And that is an apical tuft. Go get your anatomist. That's where the apical tuft sits on a fingertip. All right, and that is the fingertip, and it is saturated with blood. And I have, I've had microscopes and everything. I've looked at it, and it is blood. It's blood. Now, it's not like cellular blood now, but you can see that it's a red, bloody matrix. Now, and I have a lot of mudfossils. I mean, I have tons of them. And I have giants, too. Huge, huge giants, and they're all DNA certified. So, getting back to this flat earth thing. Every time I talk about space, it's a continuous fight. Every time I talk about light and what comes through space and comes through our atmosphere and creates these Higgs fields, continuous fight. Anytime I talk about anything other than mud fossils, it's a continuous fight. It's the comments, and they try to take mud fossils away, and there's no clue. None of them have any idea what they're doing. I tried to help Michael Tellinger, and I did. I helped him. I showed him, and as soon as and then I said, well, I didn't realize he was a flat earther. And this goes back a couple of years now. He found some stuff, and he sent me a whole ton of stuff, and I worked with him for I don't know, a week or so. We talked and everything, and then I found out, that. As soon as I put a post up about his stuff, that I was working with Michael Tellinger, I turned into a flat earther again. And so I had to get away from that, and then it ended up being a little bit of a thing between Michael and I, not nasty. I just said, please, I just can't be involved in this because they just keep attacking me. You know, if he's looking at stone circles and stuff, that's fine. And those people don't bother him, but they bother the heck out of me. They just can't accept it. They just cannot accept me not going into their flat realm. It just isn't allowed. And I even had a priest over here. I showed him everything. He was fab. Oh, this is unbelievable. This is great. You have to say the space station doesn't exist. I said, are you serious? And I literally threw him out. You know, I mean, I didn't throw him out physically. I just said, it's time for you to go, buddy. And I just can't, you know, what can I say? When people will not allow what they can see with their own eyes, I mean, I just don't know what to say. And then to attack me for doing the research that I'm doing to try to prove all these things, which are absolutely provable, and then to have everything crushed. We're burning down my house with this stuff. You know, they're saying, be nice. I'm trying. I was trying. I tried. I said, please take that elsewhere. This is not a flat earth that I live in. I'm showing stuff that come from a globe that spins through space. I show all this stuff. I show why our atmosphere is heating up. I show why the sun's corona is 1,000,000 degrees and the surface is 6,000, because it is scrubbing through space. Now, if they can't accept any of this stuff, I'm still going to have to push them away. And I don't mean to be nasty. I don't want to be ugly, but I feel it just grow in me to just a rage. And I just couldn't take it anymore, and I blocked a ton of people. And I know I blocked people that shouldn't have been blocked, and I'm so sorry. And I don't know how to get it back. There's no way to retrieve this, I don't think, because I just let it go. And I'm sorry. But I'm not going to do this. I'm just not going to allow it. I'm just sorry. I can't allow it. Please. If you want to stay looking at mud fossils with me, Michael Tellinger does mud fossils. Go to Wise Up Guy. He does mud fossils. Go anywhere else. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But if you want to stay with me, you're going to have to not mention that. Because the first mention, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to fight. I'm just going to remove anything like that. And that person is gone as well. So I just don't want to be nasty. But that's where I'm closing the case on it. All right? Thank you. God bless you.